Yo, what's up guys, this is Happy No with another Guild Wars 2 PvP video, and this time I'm gonna start and show you a 2v2 series where I'm just showing you how powerful my 2v2 build is and why my meta build is better than this meta battle website Core Guardian build. And I know they will not take this for serious, but still my build is much better and I'm gonna prove it here with this 2v2 series. I had a lot of fun playing this, and I'm gonna show you here different team comps that I fought and even the losses. By the way, I have also one loss which I will show you later on, and this one is a pretty interesting comp here because you can see this here in a 2v2 situation. You never know what you're gonna expect, and for example on this comp here where I die at the beginning, the enemy player was playing this Shock Aura Tempest, which means he had perma interrupts, and he immediately also noticed that I have no stability, so he went also for elite skill to get me here, and they will win this first round here pretty good. But from mistakes you will learn, and the things that I've learned here is, okay, this guy is going for CCs and I'm just gonna go swap around. My Revenant was a little bit salty, by the way, and I just had to swap around here with some more stability, and I needed only one stability because it is really obvious to avoid the damage, but once you get caught it is pretty hard to get out. And the thing what I do here is just swap around my Judge's Intervention for stability, stand your ground, which also gives stability to my ally. He will not need it because he's playing the core Revenant with the dwarf stance, so he already has a lot of stability because I was testing that build out as well, and you can play around a lot with this core Revenant, a lot of stability. And this comment from him is not so great, but never mind. I don't take it so serious. So far I found a dude to play a little bit with him, but for one reason, because I really don't like duo queue. I love the variety to have different team comps, but the struggle that I faced most likely is that the team comps that I faced were always like double Necro, Firebrand, Revenant, Tempest, something something, and when I had like not so advanced allies, it was pretty hard for me to really get something going on alone, because my ally died always at the beginning and we were struggling quite a lot. And by the way, yes, I noticed it as well. This Revenant is the pro thief player who wanted to make a team with me. He was looking for a pro player, and I faced him like quite a lot. I don't want to say that I kicked him once out of legendary, but it could be possible. I won 3 games against him so far, and he had maybe really bad luck. Never mind. I'm gonna show you also a few games with really strong players, but how to say, not so strong, but they were playing cancer comps and they had God of PvP titles, and I was able to beat them, and I'm just gonna show you that. And here you can see what I'm doing is just waiting for the Revenant to engage, because I have here the support from my Revenant, core Revenant, with the stability and stuff, so I don't need to engage so much. And you can see this here, it is pretty difficult to play this because the Tempest was dealing also quite a lot of damage, and I had to be careful. But my Revenant seems to be a little bit, how to say it, also more advanced, because he uses also utility skills to support me. For example, he used the Dwarf Elite skill, which reduces the incoming damage, condition and normal DPS by 50%. And that just made my ass a little bit surviving a little bit longer. And so far, the one thing that I have to say though is that the best world here, I really can't remember his name, sorry. He was playing at least not some cancer builds, you know. That's what I have to say, what I respect. Because the other people that I was facing with God of PvP, they were all playing some cancer builds, and I don't know. If you see, I'm gonna show you Draze. I'm gonna show you with Draze, and when you see this, I was so, it was so fun. I was not able to stop laughing because it was. If you see how this guy manages to stay on the top 10 of the 2v2 lists, you will just laugh your ass off. it has nothing to do with skill. He just plays like not even the double necro cancer shit, but he plays even on a higher level of cancer. He had a core thief with he was playing mesmer and a core thief, and they were just perma stealthing and condi comps. They tried to moa me. They moa'd me even 3 times, and they won 3-2 against us. And that was so fun. You won't believe it. I will upload that as well. That's like a part of this 2v2 series, which I'm going to show you. I had like 90% of the pro players. I haven't recorded all of them, but maybe I will catch them again, and I'm just going to be able to record that as well. And you can see this here, by the way, my build still rocks pretty hard. I've seen my build doing like, my symbols better said, doing like 5400 damage. You can see this here, my scepter auto attacks dealing up to 2k damage almost, and it is insane. If you manage to do it right, it is insane. This one is the first and a really short one, and yeah, people not even saying GG, which is really bad. And let's see, I have to watch. Okay, I got top stat damage. I thought this guy said he would have top stat damage. So this was the first video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm not gonna try and make it much longer. Let's see. Was I showing you the build? I made also, during this 2v2 series, I made also some slight adjustments to my build, which I will just do a template video. You can see this here, Marauder Amulet with Rune of the Strength, still my main thing to go. Sigil of Battle with Energy. The Sigil of Battle is swapping around maybe with the Puril or Purity, I don't know. Puril something-ish, the one with the 25% longer vulnerability duration. I see this a little bit more solid here as well. Sigil of Stagnation am I using, and Sigil of Exposure on my greatsword. This has the 2 reasons. Number 1, the cripple will be pretty annoying, and this one, 5 stacks of vulnerability immediately, which means not just I have the 5% damage bonus, but my ally as well. And this just gives us a total of heavy vulnerability stacks. And 5 seconds, it's long enough, and the build is still the same. I haven't swapped here around. Lesser Smite Condition with Stalwart Defender, Monk's Focus, Rider's Instincts, Retribution, then the last one here, Healer's Retribution, Fiery Wrath, Salah's Blade, Symbolic Avengers, Seal's Blade, something like this. So just to recap it a little bit, you gain if the enemies stand in your symbols a 10% damage bonus. 5 stacks times 2 gives a 10% damage bonus. Then you have a 7% damage bonus against burned enemies, which means a total of 17%. Then you have a 10% damage bonus if you have retaliation, which means a 27% damage bonus. And you have, what do you have as well? 27%. Then you get a lot of might stacks and the vulnerability stacks, which is pretty easy like to have at least a 10 stacks of vulnerability onto enemies with your symbols, which could mean like you have a total of almost 40% damage bonus immediately almost during the fights. And the best here is of course that you have a 99% crit chance, so your damage will be hugely increased. Just a second to go back here. You have a 52% crit chance, 72 with normal fury, and then the retaliation grants you also a 20% higher crit chance, which means 93% almost, yeah, 92.61 crit chance, and you have a 10% higher crit chance against burn foes, which means you have a total of above 100% crit chance. And all in one, you grant yourself a lot of might stacks. You have a 2400 base damage, by the way. Then you will grant yourself like at least 10 or 15 stacks of might, 10 or 15 stacks of vulnerability on enemies. And this stagnation one allows the enemies not to run away from you so fast. And that just means you can burst freely with this. And then the changes on the utility skills, I'm using right now Smite Condition, Contemplation of Purity, and Stand Your Ground most likely. Because Stand Your Ground gives you the extra retaliation and stability, which is really needed if you play those Kàisèr CC comps, and it allows your allies well to have stabilities to use his healing skill and stuff like that. And that's all in one, a really nice combo here. I'm also working on a Burn Guardian build and on a DH build, which I will be showing up a little bit later on, maybe. And so again, that's just the build. And now, as always, 3 of my other videos which you can watch or not. And of course, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel only if you like this video. If not, don't do it. That was Happy No with the first 2v2 series video. The number 1, they will be all, by the way, with the Core Guardian. And I see you in my next videos now, guys. Have a good one, and bye bye all.